Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ref the District. I am the Stoner. That's Trev right over there. This is episode 100. That's Trev and Kobe who is joining us for this show. This is episode number 100, Trev. This is a big deal. Why are you muted? You're definitely muted. I can't hear anything you're saying.
All right, yeah. So that was Kobe, and yeah, the century mark. That's nuts. 100 episodes.
100 episodes.
What number was it when I joined?
I don't know. I was thinking about that today. I can't remember what number it was, but if you figure you joined probably in August-ish of 2021, and we started in the end of January, so that was probably episode 20 something in there.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But episode 100. Now we've done tons of different content, right? But as far as our flagship Wednesday night live 7:30, no matter what, we've never missed. This is the 100th.
Don't miss. Just don't miss.
We just don't miss, bro. So welcome everybody into the show. Of course, Nathan is not here. Nathan is traveling for the holidays. He is certainly going to check out the replay on either YouTube or Facebook, just like some of you all are doing right now. If you were not here live with us, which we've got a bunch of people already here, but if not, you can check out the replay, of course, on YouTube, or you can listen to the audio version of it. We don't talk too much about the audio version, but we've got every time it goes out there on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on Amazon Music Podcasts, and of course on Apple.
Everywhere.
You can find us anywhere. You can find us on all the social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Of course, that's where we're at mostly. So we've got a big show. Yep. We've got a big show for all of you today. Later on, we're going to talk a little bit about we're going to give our predictions for the San Francisco versus Washington game, the dollar, just like we always do. And of course, we might even talk a little bit about the Wiz, who finally broke their losing streak last night. He's here in the chat watching us. He's probably on the road because he doesn't drive, so he's probably being driven somewhere out there in the middle of nowhere, beating the weather this way. Starting probably tomorrow or Friday.
If you guys keep watching me look over like this, it's because I've got my beloved Tar Heels playing the Michigan right now.
And I'm rooting for North Carolina because I am very anti-Michigan. So here we go. During the game portion of our show today, we're going to, of course, be talking all about San Francisco against Washington, what it's going to take to beat them. Is it even possible? The keys to victory, of course. We're going to go over the injury report that came out today, of course, and for both Washington and San Francisco. And also, we're going to talk a little Heineke versus Wentz. Okay, who should be starting? Who will be starting? Not only this week, but next week and for the rest of the season. But before we get to all of that, Trev, here in the warm up, I wanted to talk a little bit about last Sunday's game against the Giants, because you were not here for Day After Reckoning on Monday. You were working, tended to the Sky Bar, and we'll talk all about our sponsors throughout today's show. But I wanted to get your sort of what you thought about the game and how you felt about it, because, and I want to bring this up right here, because we talked a lot about these whole conspiracy theories about how the NFL does not want Dan Snyder in the playoffs. So it's a whole conspiracy. So they're doing all these, they're paying off the referees to make ridiculous calls or non-calls. So tell everybody about your experience. First of all, about going to the game and the suite life and all of that stuff.
So Ref the District podcast, we got to enjoy the game on Sunday night from a suite up top. Suite 326. It was my first experience in a suite. Magical. I told Stoner when we got into the suite, I don't want to sit anywhere else ever.
I know. You can't go sit with the commoners anymore.
I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I liked that experience. It was nice. You got to see the entire field, the entire stadium. That place was packed. I think honestly, since I've been going to games, that was probably like the most people I've seen in the stadium, and probably I think it was like the highest stake game I've ever been to in person too. So that was a good experience.
Yeah.
But now,
and what would you say is the ratio of Commanders to Giants fans? Because we had a little debate about that as well.
So normally the away team floods, like, I don't know how you look at the stadium, but wherever I get tickets, the away side is always on my left side. So usually down in the lower bowl on the left side, it's all visitors fans, even up top to the second level, maybe even up to the third level too. But for some reason this Sunday, I felt like the lower bowl was Giants, but it wasn't as packed and as supportive as a normal away team is for us, which is surprising because we had the same record going into the game.
Yeah.
Fighting for playoff spots, this and that. I mean, they were there, but even during tailgate, like, you barely saw any New York Giants.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Fans, like,
yeah.
So I think maybe the weather and the travel has something to do with it being holiday season and stuff too. But I mean, they were definitely there. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the normal like visitor side where they usually drown out the rest of the stadium. So I thought that was very nice. I mean, the players were on camera after practices saying, come out. They left the train station open for an extra hour so fans could come and enjoy the game and stuff. Yep. So like they did a bunch to honor and consider the fans in this game. But now to the game part, it's just I'm still sick to this day when I think about it.
Yeah.
Outside the referee stuff, which we'll get to, I'm sure, but like we can't put ourselves in that position for the referees to make those bad calls.
Sure.
I mean, yes, they're bad calls. I'm not giving an excuse for referees, but that's how it happens. We put ourselves in that position. I just don't understand how on paper and on-field production both have proven that we have weapons on offense and we can't score points.
Right.
Our defense, we put our offense in position to score every time. Our defense is, for the most part, is doing its job all season long.
For sure.
Since 1-4. For sure. You know what I mean? And it's just, they might, let up here and there, but for the most part, they're doing their job. And offense is not doing their job. It seems like we're pretty good in between the 20s.
Right.
The 20 and before, it's like we don't know how to call a play.
Right. The red zone has just been a bugaboo today.
I don't get it. And you go and watch highlights after the game on SportsCenter of other teams, and you see how easy it is for them. It's like, why can't we do that? Why literally aren't we doing that?
Yeah.
Prime example, 2nd and 3, Taylor Heineke's your quarterback, and you call a flea flicker.
Right. Well, I don't know, but I kind of think 2nd and 3 flea flicker is okay. The problem I had was the 3rd and 3 after that when you don't complete it and you run an inside handoff to Curtis Samuel. Which,
by the way, why is he getting a lot of touches at running back right now for some reason?
Well, I'm okay with him getting touches, but it wasn't working this past week. It wasn't working, and sometimes you just got to say it's not working, and you got to get away from it.
But B-Rob was working.
B-Rob was working, and he had 4 carries in the second half.
12 carries total.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. Like, I know, like, I'm not a coach. I'm not a player. I'm not in the building. But we're on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of have a little knowledge of what we're talking about with football. I mean, we're fans. We watch the game every Sunday, whether it's our team or anybody else. We watch other stuff outside of the game, like, after interviews, stuff like that, to know that if you're running the ball effectively, averaging 7.5 yards a carry,
keep doing it.
You keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when your quarterback in the first half had that sack, fumble, touchdown, and stop dropping him back 5-step drops at your own goal line.
Thank you.
You just got to stop doing that if your offensive lineman can't handle a rookie defensive end.
And I don't understand. Maybe the past 2 years we've had Heinicke, he can escape the pressure. He doesn't do a very good job of that anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I'm feeling you, Trev. Before we move on, actually, we're going to talk about the referees here in just a second. But I'd be remiss if I didn't welcome everybody who is already here watching us live. We've got folks like Elian's here. Tommy T, of course, is in the house. Michael Stahl, always here. Kimbra, Perry, Nathan's mom is here. Dougford, Command D's, who's always here. Allison is in here. She's a big stats stats person.
Yeah.
Got to turn that light off. And she does some great articles. Follow her on Twitter. Of course, Nathan is probably in here as he's cruising across America. Gus Bus. Let's see who else we got in here. We've got Metaphor.
That's my former boss, my former job, Michelle Lang.
All right, Michelle Lang in the house. The actual Washington Commanders are in the house. All right, maybe Mr. Snyder or Mr. Wright, they are here watching us. Clifton Taylor's in here. Of course, we've got Tone Ja. I don't think we know Tone Ja. I don't think. Welcome in, Tone Ja. We appreciate you being here. And so I just wanted to make sure that we got all those folks recognized. So let's talk a little bit about the referees at the end on the Terry play. Okay, when he got flagged. And I brought up something, and I'm sure you probably didn't see it. But what I said was, of course, Terry said the referee told him he was good. Okay. And we all know Terry. Everybody in the NFL knows Terry. Terry is full of integrity. He's a great dude. He's a leader. There's no reason to not believe him. But let me just tell you this, Trev. That referee did not tell Terry McLaurin that he was good. Because there's no way on earth that he would say, Terry, you're good, and then throw a flag on him. He wouldn't do that. These are trained professional men and women who are out there and earning a living doing this. And if they were to ever prove it, there's no way that person would ever have a job again, being an NFL official. So he probably thought that the referee told him he was good. It was a simple miscommunication. To me, that's what happened on that play. Now, he shouldn't have called it. It was ticky-tack. Terry was not trying to gain an advantage.
No.
By being off the line. He wasn't trying to create some space to run a fade or to run an inside slant or anything like that. He simply just wasn't quite within inches of where the official wanted him to be. Is that possible, Trev, that he didn't actually tell Terry that he was good?
I don't know why Terry would lie about that.
I'm not saying he's lying.
I know you're not.
Thought he said.
Yeah. So regardless if the ref said he was good or not, the ref motioned with his hand to tell him where to go.
Right. Told him to move up.
Which is, I think, is like kind of a confirmation of you're good, in my opinion, if the referee's telling you where to go and you line up there and then you give another thumbs up, even though Devin McCourty on Good Morning Football said that Terry didn't actually look back a second time to make sure he just threw a thumbs up while he was looking at the ball. And I guess maybe Terry thought he said you're good at that point. But either way, the ref told him where to go. Right. And then immediately put his hand on the flag, ready to go.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. And I also found out being a referee in the NFL is a part-time job. Did you know that?
I don't know. Is it still? They've been talking for years about making them full-timers.
I watch a lot of sports shows. So I was watching Pat McAfee, and they were saying there that they're part-time, and like to resolve that, they should treat it like a football team. Get all these referees during OTAs, have them break off in different groups, go to different camps during the off-season, train, and make it a full-time position, because I guess it is Tommy T saying it's part-time, and that could be a problem. Yeah, that could be a problem because there's no continuity with the refs anymore. There's none. And the one in the white hat who announces and makes the calls has to go off what all the other judges and referees are going by. So a long time, well-known white hat referee might have never known or referee with the one guy who threw the flag ever until this game. And maybe his version of illegal formation is different than John Hussey's, but John Hussey has to call it because the referee, you know what I'm saying? So like,
John Hussey is not going to go over there and
be like, no, it's not. Yeah. No referee's ever done that
because he's not there. He's not on the line, and that's not his job.
Now
his
they
job
might
is to trust his.
Yeah. Now we've seen instances where they throw the flag and they get together and huddle, and maybe a more experienced out of the whatever will be like, oh, hey, that's not it, and they pick the flag up.
So you can't do that because he's on the line making a call about being on the line.
Yeah. So that's something needs to be done because it's not just our game.
Yeah. And Gus is asking if it's customary for the referee to give you a thumbs up. It is. It is. You'll see it on 95% of the plays, when the receivers go out, they look at the official. They don't necessarily need a thumbs up.
No,
they'll look at them, and the referee will tell them if they're not lined up on the line or off the line. You'll see them. You'll see them point up this way. I'm talking about like the receiver.
Yeah,
receiver will point up or he'll point at the referee, either one, or you'll see him point behind him. They're telling the referee that they are lining up behind the line.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, and Terry did that. And it's crazy that they did end up calling that.
Yeah.
And somebody put out there also, Trev, that they, whoever did this, and I don't know how true it is, I'm just believing the person that put it out there, is that all of Terry's plays from college and the NFL, 3,600 plays that he's played in college and the NFL. And this is his second time he's been called for illegal formation.
So
it's not, he doesn't know what he's doing.
No, the referee doesn't know what the illegal formation is.
That could be it.
I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you want to pivot on to the Curtis Samuel one?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Atrocious.
Yes, it was for sure.
I'm not saying it cost us the game because we put ourselves
cost us a chance at winning, or at least tying, or at least having a chance at the game.
And for them to come out and say it's a judgment call.
Well, it is a judgment call, but
then that was clearly. I mean, it was clear pass interference. My man had to adjust his sleeve. His left arm was being held, so he couldn't fully extend with 2 hands to catch the ball. Like, that is just atrocious, and something needs to be done with these referees. Get them all together, make it a full-time position, make them all go to camp together so they can get some kind of continuity on the same page about what's right and what's not. Or, since everything is VAR and reviewed now, go ahead and make OPIs and DPIs reviewable.
If you remember,
it might get out of hand, but
if you remember, they did that one year. A few years ago, they made pass interference a challengeable play, and it was an absolute disaster. And I think it was for one season, and it just did not go well because it's like in the NBA.
Yes,
you can call a foul on every play.
Yes.
In the NFL, you can throw a flag on every play. Okay, especially when you have receivers and DBs. You can call pass interference on every play. Okay, but you have to judge on whether the defender was given an advantage by his play. So
maybe allow like one challenge on a DPI or OPI call a game to maybe put it down.
I don't know.
That was atrocious. I don't care who you are, what team. That was really bad. Really bad.
And as Nathan says, even if the ref is dirty, it's not like the NFL will award us the game. So it is time to move on. So let's move on past that game. It's over.
Run the show as he's traveling.
That's right. Let's move on, though, and let's talk about a pretty controversial subject here. Okay?
Yeah.
Trev, what in the F is going on with Chase Young?
Oh, my God, bro.
I don't understand. You have to help. And I'm going to give you a few parameters here to think about this before you comment. Okay? Chase Young was on the injured list, right? Chase Young can come off of the injured list whenever the team decides to designate him for return. Okay? They don't have a window that they have to do that. It's just somewhere during the course of the year. Okay? Well, once he's on IR, he has to sit at least 4 games, like B-Rob did at the beginning of the year. Okay? So let me amend that statement and say it has to be at least 4 games. His, of course, was for much longer than that. But 7 weeks ago today,
he was activated.
They designated him for return. And they said, okay, now we've got 3 weeks to decide, 3 weeks of practice to decide, are we going to activate him to the roster or are we going to put him on season-ending IR? They activated him to the roster 4 weeks ago. A month ago, Trev. They said, okay, he deserves a roster spot because he's ready to play. And he hasn't played. So my question to you, Trev, is, one, why did they do that 7 weeks ago when they could have done it this week, for example, and not used a roster spot? Like they did with Curtis Hodges, right? They just designated him to return yesterday or Monday, whenever that was. Why did they do that 7 weeks ago? And why is he not playing for this team?
So the first question, why they do it 7 weeks ago? I mean, at the time, it seemed right. And then I guess when they kept holding him out, it was because the turf, and then it was a bye, and this and that. So I don't know. That's a hard question. Why did they activate it so early? So for me, it feels like Ron Rivera is more confident in this injury than Chase Young is.
Okay, but can't Chase Young communicate that to Ron Rivera?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why didn't he communicate that 7 weeks ago?
Maybe he had a setback and he's just not telling anybody.
Did he have a setback?
My guess is he had a setback.
Did he have a setback at that Von Miller camp when everybody said he might have had a setback?
I don't know if it was the Von Miller camp or if it was just, we don't know. I mean, that's if there is one that is known, that could be it. But like other than that, we don't know because we're not in the building. We don't know what his rehab's like. Maybe he tried to go full speed. I mean, they put out videos with him like doing work and agility drills and with his helmet and stuff on and on the field with everybody else. But maybe he just tweaked it. It's kind of like the Curtis Samuel injury last year.
It's very, very similar to how it's being handled.
Yeah,
Samuel from last.
And it's funny that it's like that because Ron Rivera came out and admitted that they handled that the wrong way. They kept everything a secret. They just came out and tell us what was going on. But now they're kind of doing the same thing with this Chase Young injury.
Right.
So you got Ron Rivera saying, yeah, he's going to play this season. We kind of, we tested this. We felt like the turf game was going to be whatever, or like it's the bye. We can come on. He had a great visit with Dr. Andrews, whatever. And then Chase Young is like, yeah, I feel great. Great days of practice, but we have a plan and I want to stick and we're sticking to it. That doesn't
jive.
No. And like he got asked, is there anything you could change about the process of this? And he said, no, just the speed. Wish it was faster.
Yeah.
And then he was asked, are you gonna tell about the extent of your injury? Like it's not just ACL. And he said, eventually. It's like it's very, very shady behavior between Chase Young playing and not playing, and Ron Rivera saying he's playing this season, and it doesn't seem like he's going to play.
Yeah. I don't understand any of it. I really don't understand any of it.
I know
we shouldn't be in this position of questioning the team every single week if you hadn't designated him to return 7 weeks ago. If he wasn't ready 7 weeks ago, you should not have designated him to return at that time.
Now the pressure is mounting. Like, are you going to play? You're going to play? There's 3 games left. You're going to play? We can make the playoffs. You're going to play?
Exactly. Like, there's only 3 games left, Trev.
It's and we can possibly go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
No.
I don't get it. Nathan says in here that he's Clowney 2.0. And listen, come on over to my side finally, Nathan, because I haven't been saying Clowney 2.0. I've just been saying they blew it with that draft pick at number 2 when you could have had Herbert or Tua.
We can't say he blew it yet. We can't because we haven't seen him play after the injury yet.
That's fair. But right now, he is Jadeveon Clowney.
And the injury was really bad. It was ACL and the patellar tendon too, apparently. So like, apparently the patellar tendon was causing him more fits than the actual ACL.
Listen, I don't know. Trev, I don't care if his knee exploded. Okay. They designated him to return 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem I have. Sure, it was more than just an ACL tear. I get it.
Oh, you're just mad because they're putting out there that like, yo, he's ready to play.
He's ready to play 7 weeks ago.
And he hasn't played.
And then 3 weeks after that, when you have to make a decision to IR him for the year, or bring him on the team, then they decided to put him on the roster. That means he should be ready to play. It's just like Curtis Samuel last year.
It is.
Okay, when you think he's ready, he's using a roster spot. Now that particular roster spot, down there that doesn't even get activated on game day is not that big of a deal.
Right.
But still, you're just wasting everybody's time right now, it seems like. And by the way, he's not, if it's mental, the only way to get over it is in a game.
Yeah.
Because their practices right now are not even practices, really.
No, they're walkthroughs.
They're mostly walkthroughs. It's not training camp. He's not going out there and doing one-on-one drills with Charles Leno, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing these Rigo drills and these Oklahoma drills where they're smashing into each other.
They're staying in shape.
Not in week 15. They're not doing that right now.
No.
So he's not going to have that full contact in practice.
No.
The only way he's going to get it is in the game. And it's just stunning that we're still in this situation after all this time. I want to give a quick shout out to Clifton Taylor for the $3. Well, we appreciate you, Clifton. I know he said that he went to the game all the way from North Carolina.
Wow.
A lot of people came from a long ways away to go to that game, including Trev. He's 2.5 hour drive to 3 hour drive to get out there. Yeah. I'm 45 minutes. I'm not that far, but still.
I'm upset we didn't get a picture. We didn't get a picture.
You know what? I thought about that. I had all these ideas of things that I wanted to do for content and all that other stuff with pictures and videos. But man, once you get there, you just want to tailgate.
You do.
You just want to go up there into the suite and take it all in and,
so cool,
and just watch the game. And then next thing you know, we forgot to do all these pictures and content and everything. You just get all caught up in it. Yeah, so it was that's kind of a wrap on this past week's game.
I don't like, and real quick, I just don't like the comment when Chase Young says, practices are great, I feel fine, but we have a plan and we're sticking to it. I don't, for someone who quote unquote wants to play, it doesn't sound too confident that he's going to play this season.
Yeah, I'm really getting disappointed. Oh, I heard a theory. Okay. I heard a theory somewhere. I won't mention where I heard it, but they may be holding him out because they're thinking about trading him in the offseason. Stop it.
I'll cry right now.
Yeah. But I don't know what you would get for a guy who's played a season and a half and wasn't even that great. And is coming off a major injury anyway.
Bro, he would get a lot of attention if we were to trade him.
He would get a lot of attention.
Oh yes,
he's only like 22 years old,
exactly,
right?
Bro.
Which is another reason why I don't understand why he's not fully recovered from this injury. He's 22. He's not 32.
Maybe it's really bad.
He's not Logan Thomas.
Maybe I'm not saying anybody's scared, but like, think about it. You blow out your knee and your patellar tendon. It's like, what if it happens again on my other knee? Like, that's got to be playing in his head every single day, probably 40 times an hour. Like, that's got to be going into effect. Got to.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Who knows? It was a rough week for all of us. I'm still kind of recovering, trying to make up for.
Yeah, bro. Like that. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
We should have won that game.
we should have won that game. We'd be in the position to just have to win basically one more game, and we'd be in the playoffs. Now, the good thing is, Trev, two things. Number one, we're still the 7th seed.
We are.
Today, we're still in the playoffs.
We are.
Okay? So that's one thing. The second thing is we still control our own destiny.
We do.
As long as we win out, we don't care what all the other teams do.
No.
The chances of us winning out are not great. I'm just saying that we have a chance to do that. Then we'll be in the playoffs.
We need Giants, Lions, and Seahawks to lose every other game.
Yeah, and that'll be fine. And then we won't have. Then maybe we can just win one or two more, and we can get in. So let's get into that. Okay. What is it going to take?
Oh man,
to beat the San Francisco 49ers, and we'll talk about that here in just a second.
The game is brought to you by Pacers Running Stores. Pacers has 5 stores in Northern Virginia and DC. For the best running footwear, apparel, and gear, just stop by or schedule a virtual fitting with the best running experts in the business. Pacers Running exists to help as many people as possible through running. For every run, it's Pacers Running.
Welcome back to the game portion of Ref the District, episode 100. Thank you all for being here. We got a bunch more people who came in. Blue City Empire Sports has popped in. Mr. Attitude Era, James King, Ivan LFC. Yam is here. Love some Yam when he's interacting with us. See No One is here. Javier Griffin is here. So we've got all kinds of new folks who have popped in. We appreciate all of you for being here. Of course, Tommy T. I think we mentioned Tommy T earlier, but yeah, put that stuff there. Put your comments there in the box. Hit that like button. We appreciate it. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Trev,
what up?
Here in the game, let's talk about a few things. First, let's talk about the Skybar injury report. Skybar is in Lexington, Virginia. Trev is the proprietor of Skybar. So if you head out there, if you're ever in that area, head over to Skybar. Your first drink, as long as you mention Ref the District, the first drink is on the house.
Yes, sir.
And Trev will hook you up, and he will treat you like a king if you stop by. So do that at Skybar. Trev, give us the injury report first for San Francisco.
Okay. Two big ones that are DNPs probably for the rest of the season. If you guys didn't know already, Jimmy Garoppolo with that foot injury.
Yep, for sure.
Deebo Samuel with the ankle and knee injury. They're both pretty much done for the season, or at least they might get Deebo
at least
back
the regular season.
Yeah.
Definitely Deebo's not playing this week.
Defensive lineman Eric Armstead.
That's a big deal. What was he?
Limited foot and ankle
okay.
on Tuesday and today. Defensive lineman Kerry Hyder, he did not play yesterday and he's limited today with the ankle. Christian McCaffrey is on there with a knee injury, limited both yesterday and today.
He's going to play.
Yes. Brock Purdy, oblique and rib. He had that same problem going in the last game. They still won. He played, limited both days as well. Cornerback Ambry Thomas, ankle, limited both days. Travarius Ward, cornerback, concussion, limited both days. He'll probably play. Wide receiver Danny Gray, never heard of him. Hamstring, he was a full participant. Trent Williams is on there. He did not play yesterday because of rest, but he played full today.
Yep.
And Samuel Womack, another cornerback, concussion, full both days.
Okay.
So it seems like everybody's going to be available to go by the time Saturday.
Yeah, but Deebo's not there. That's a big
deal.
No,
that's huge. And McCaffrey,
he'll play.
But he's hit or miss, he'll play. So
right.
For the Commanders, the only DNP we have is Sadiq Charles, concussion. DNP yesterday and today.
Concussion from, did he play on Sunday? Anyway. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Next up, we have Cam Curl, ankle. He was limited both yesterday and today. Antonio Gibson, foot. That's been lingering for a while now.
Yeah.
Both limited yesterday and today. Yeah. Andrew Norwell, shoulder. He was limited yesterday and today, but he's at the Caps game. He'll play.
He's good.
St. Just, ankle, limited, and Wednesday. He went on record saying he's going to play in San Francisco on Saturday. So look for that to happen.
Yeah.
Chase Young, knee, limited both days. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know either.
B-Rob had a quad, but he was full on both yesterday and today, and that's it. So.
Okay. So I think the big ones there, of course, we've already talked quite a bit about Chase playing, not playing this week. Benjamin St. Juste, that's big. I think everybody else that you mentioned will probably play, but Benjamin St. Juste, we all thought he was going to play this past week.
Right.
And he didn't. So I think he told the beat reporters he's playing against San Fran. And I think that's a big deal.
It's huge.
So we need him in there. He's really stepped up in his second year and has been a rock there at one of the corner spots. So Benjamin St. Juste playing is a big deal.
Yes.
So let's talk about San Fran here just for a second. All right. We already know how good of a team that they are. They're 10-4.
Okay.
Right. They've won the NFC West. That's locked up. They're in the playoffs.
Yep.
Now they're battling for position. Okay. They've done it with three quarterbacks. They've played three quarterbacks this year. Of course, Trey Lance started out the year as the starter. He got hurt, done for the year. Jimmy Garoppolo came in, was playing really well.
Yeah.
He got hurt. He's done for at least the regular season, probably for the year. And now Brock Purdy has come in the last 3 games
Yeah.
3.5 maybe. He came in for part of that game that Garoppolo got hurt, I believe. And he's played the last 3 games. Of course, he's known as Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft this year, the 2022 draft.
Right.
And he's played okay. He's getting a lot of pub. He hasn't been that great, but he has managed this offense well. And Kyle Shanahan has done a great job teaching him and limiting his ability to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about Brock Purdy. In your eyes, what do you think about him in running this offense?
He has weapons around him, and he's a decent quarterback. He has an arm. I mean, that's what it is. If you have weapons around you, you can succeed at least a little bit, if not even half of what you're trying to do. So I'm not saying he's a world beater. I'm not saying he's Mr. Relevant, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's a third-string quarterback. He's a backup, and he's doing what he's supposed to do, manage the offense and manage the game. They're not asking him to come in and break records and ask him to, this is your audition tape to be a starter. Like, they just come in and do your job. And he's done it.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been flashy.
No.
He just hasn't made mistakes.
That one throw to Christian McCaffrey, the over-the-shoulder touchdown, that was a nice throw. That was a nice throw. I'll give him that. But every dog has its day, so it's like
I mean, when you've got guys like Deebo Samuel, who's hurt, understand, but you've got Christian McCaffrey.
George Kittle.
You've got George Kittle. That's right. You've got an excellent offensive line. And, of course, you've got the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you can go out there and play a little bit free where you don't have to worry about everything being on your shoulders.
And your defense provides you short fields.
That's right.
You don't have to claw your way to a touchdown from way back,
There's going to come a point in this Brock Purdy, whatever you want to call it, this ride that he's on right now with San Francisco. There's going to come a point where he's going to come back down to earth, where he's going to regress, where he's going to look like a 6th round or 7th round pick, where he's going to look like a 3rd stringer. It's going to happen.
It is going
because he is Brock Purdy. He is not the next Tom Brady. He is not the next Kurt Warner. No. He's not, y'all. Okay? He's playing over his head, and he's going to come down. Will he come down this game?
Yeah.
Is this the game that he regresses to the mean?
I think so, bro. I don't think he's faced – he played Tampa Bay, but their defensive line is not what it was or what it's portrayed to be. This defensive line he's about to face on Saturday is a real deal. Now, granted, if he's watching film from Sunday, he'll think he's going to have a field day because we didn't touch Daniel Jones on Sunday.
Right.
But if he looks at tape over the season, he'll figure out why we were getting some recognition about our defensive line here before the Giants game. So this is the best chance, I think, for him to come back down to earth. Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, Smith Williams, Montez Sweat. Go get him.
Young.
Chase Young.
Chase Young.
Go get him. Two Hill.
Yeah, he's going, like I said, he's going to come down to earth. Look, next year you're not going to hear of Brock Purdy. Okay, he's just playing way over his head. He's not a great quarterback who just fell to the 7th round and they fell into their laps. He was a 3rd stringer for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay? He was the last pick of the draft for a reason.
Right.
And he's just doing a good job right now of not screwing it all up. So I hope it's this game. It might be next game. It might be their playoff game.
Right.
When they're playing another great defense or whatever, whoever it may be. But he is going to come back down to earth.
Yeah.
And I can't wait till that happens. And I certainly hope that it's this particular game.
Like, despite how well he's been playing, he does not scare me Saturday at all.
He doesn't scare you. He's not a mobile quarterback.
No.
Okay, and mobile quarterbacks are what gives every team a problem and gives Washington a problem. And that's what they've had to deal with these last 5 or 6 weeks. They've had to deal with Daniel Jones twice, Jalen Hurts, Marcus Mariota. That's who they've been dealing with these last few weeks are these mobile quarterbacks. Brock Purdy's not that guy. I think he has like 15 rushes for 2 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not that guy.
The same similar offense. Christian McCaffrey is Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones is Brock Purdy.
That's right. Except they have George Kittle.
Yes.
Right. And he's a difference maker.
Huge
difference maker. So I think they just need to focus on stopping Kittle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And
play McCaffrey the same as you play Saquon.
Exactly. That's right.
Saquon didn't. Come on. He didn't do anything. He had 1-2 yards rushing less than Brian Robinson and like more carries.
That's right.
He didn't do anything.
I mean, he was good late because they had that one drive where he had 3 big runs in a row.
But like it wasn't like
he wasn't gashing them all game.
No,
of course not. So yeah, so you're exactly right. Just have the same plan on how you're going to stop McCaffrey. Now McCaffrey's he can line up a receiver all the time and he can do a lot of things. Okay, I'm not saying that he's not going to get his because he probably will, but you've got to stop Kittle. Brandon Ayuk is good. Okay, he's not Debo. He's not a number 1 guy.
No.
He's a Darius Slayton. Okay, sorry, that's who he.
I mean, he is.
He's a good number 2 or number 3 receiver. That's all he is.
Yes.
So let's not put him up on this pedestal that he's some great receiver. He's a good receiver, and everybody's got a Brandon Ayuk. Every team's got one of those. Yeah. So I wouldn't be afraid of that.
No.
Now, a couple of things I want to throw out at you. Of course, we know about their defense, right? They're the number 1 defense. It's not even close.
It's scary.
They're the number 1 rushing defense. Not even close. They have not given up more to one back. They have not given up more than 59 yards in a game this year to a running back. 59, Trev. That's the most. And that was the guy from Atlanta.
Oh, we got this then.
Right? So, I mean, they've had other great runners that they've played against, but the guy from Atlanta has had the best day. So let's not get too excited about what B-Rob is going to do. But Washington's 5-0 when B-Rob carries more than 15 times.
Scott Turner, did you hear that? Did you hear that, Scott Turner?
Yeah. So what do we got to do, Trev?
Feed the
What
rock.
do we got to do to beat San Francisco?
Score points, man.
Well, how are they going to score points?
Run the ball.
How's Washington going to score points?
Run the ball, play action. It's funny because Ron Rivera said after the game that he realized that they should, run the ball more and that can get their play action going and make it more whatever. Duh. Like they're teaching kids that and Pop Warner football, Ron. Like this is the NFL. People who play Madden and don't even watch the NFL, they know that. Like it's not hard. So we got to run the ball. Give B-Rob 20. I want B-Rob to have 20 touches. I don't care.
Minimum, Trev. Minimum.
If you get bored watching it, turn the channel. Sorry, we're running the ball. I'm sorry. That's what we have to do. Because Taylor Heineke, if you want him to make these throws, it's got to go off play action. It's got to go off play action.
That's right. And Washington is normally a high play action team, but against the Giants, for whatever reason, they got out of their lane for whatever reason against the Giants in the second game. For whatever reason, they didn't do what they knew they had to do to win.
I agree, James, but I don't know if you watched all season, but Taylor Heineke has maybe 4 decent passes a game. The rest are dump offs and the receivers get the yaks. So maybe do more of that, but we can't do bombs with Taylor Heineke. We can't do deep throws. I mean, he had Curtis Samuel Sunday. His man was beat down the sideline, and Curtis had to stop his route to catch the ball and toe drag and go out of bounds. That was a walk-in touchdown if we had a comparable arm. So, what's their pass defense, Stoner?
Their pass defense is ranked number San Francisco defense passing 13th. A little bit better than middle of the pack.
But still, I don't know, man.
But overall, their points per game, they're number 1. They only give up 15 points a game.
And that's what we score. So I tweeted, they don't have defense. Stay on the sideline and just let us play go down. Yeah. We'll score the same amount of points as if you were playing defense because we can't score points.
All right. So if that's the case, Trev,
Yeah.
Why is Washington not starting Carson Wentz?
Because Ron Rivera.
Let me rephrase that, Trev.
Okay.
Why? Okay, let me just ask you this: if it were up to you, who would you start?
Carson Wentz.
Why would you start Carson Wentz this week? After everything that Taylor has done for you, why would you start Carson Wentz this week?
Because, in all honesty, and I'll probably get a lot of backlash, and for the most part, what has Taylor Heineke done for us during this winning streak? Let's be honest. He's the one who is in charge of scoring points, right? And yeah, you win a game by scoring more points than the other person. But if he didn't have help from that stout defense we had, we wouldn't even be averaging the 17 points we're averaging now.
Yeah.
It's bad. Our defense deserves all the credit in the world why we had that winning streak or why we're in the playoff position we are now.
Okay. Counterpoint.
Yes.
All right. Carson Wentz's points per game were less than Taylor Heineke's.
He also had less weapons, and the defense was not playing. And the defense was a different defense at the time.
Okay. Counterpoint.
Okay.
Carson Wentz was sacked at an alarmingly higher rate than Taylor Heineke.
Brand new continuity with O-line, protection, communication, first 4 games of the season.
First 6, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
he got that 9 sack game against Philadelphia. That was rough. But the same result if Taylor's back there. We're not scoring points. Sacks or not.
Okay. So if it were up to you, you would start Carson Wentz this week.
Yep. You got B-Rob. You got a healthy Curtis Samuel. You got Terry McLaurin who's balling out. You actually look at your tight ends. For what it's worth, we have poopy tight ends, but at least they get targets. We score points.
Yeah.
He takes shots down the field. The ball gets there. He knows how to run play action. Give him a shot, man. You paid the man $28-30 million. He broke his finger. And Ron has already said he's had a conversation with both guys. He's already come out and said, if Taylor did not lead that drive down the field to make it 14-9 or whatever right after halftime, he was already considering putting Carson Wentz in. If you're already considering that, making that move, go ahead and make the move now. Don't destroy Taylor Heineke's moxie by saying, like, you're pretty much saying, hey, bro, you don't do what you need to do in this first half of next game, you're coming out. Okay, so why is he not doing it? Why is he not doing it? Yeah, why is he not starting him now? He's got these beer goggles on about the success that we've had with Taylor under center. Yeah. But he needs to get different glasses and say, yeah, he's under center, but he don't play defense, and our defense is balling out. He has Terry McLaurin, De'Ami Brown, Curtis Samuel, Antonio Gibson, B-Rob, Logan Thomas, Cole Turner, and you score 12 points. Yeah. Okay. It's time. It's just time. What are you going to I've said this entire time that Heineke's been in there. I've said that you have to stick with Taylor Heineke simply because you're winning. Right. Okay. And you just can't say, well, we're winning, but we're going to change a very popular quarterback. And I mean popular in the locker room. Yeah. It doesn't matter what fans think. And he's very popular with the fans, but he's very popular with his teammates. Oh, and Jahan Dotson. Yes. What's that? I forgot Jahan Dotson is a weapon. Yeah. Okay. So I've said that this whole time about that you have to continue to, okay. I'm ready to make the move to Wentz. And I'm not a Carson Wentz guy. Okay. I'm not saying that he should have been playing all this time and that he's the guy and all this other stuff. But you have to, at some point, I think you do have to make that move. And it might be at halftime of this coming game. If he has the same first half against the Niners that he had against the Giants, it's coming out. He's probably coming out. Yeah. But it's just kind of gotten to that point now. Okay. He was there and they were winning. Okay. The last 2 weeks, you have a tie and a loss. Yeah. So you're no longer winning. Thank you. And that's above all,
You'll lose the locker room. Where I said you'll lose the locker room if you change to Carson Wentz.
Now you're
going to lose the locker room if you don't go to Carson Wentz.
Thank you. I agree, bro.
Absolutely,
I agree.
That's going to happen
because the defense has been the same this entire time, even during the tie and the loss Sunday. Taylor can't score points.
For whatever reason, he's very much struggles to do that. I mean, if you look at his 2 turnovers that were just backbreakers, one was a touchdown, right? That's 7 points that you can take off the board if he doesn't do that. Yeah. And the other one was at the 5-yard or 10-yard line, whatever that was, where at very worst, you're going to get 3 points. You win the game if he doesn't make those 2 turnovers.
That's what I'm saying. All our losses outside of Dallas and Philly, pretty much, we beat ourselves.
Yeah.
Interception Titans, interception Vikings, a tie Giants. The lack of offensive structure against the Giants on Sunday, like all of our losses, we beat ourselves.
Yeah, and like that throw to Curtis Samuel, like you said, late in that last drive, which eventually they did not score.
Oh my God.
If he had thrown that ball like a normal quarterback should throw that ball, that was a touchdown. It was a walk-in touchdown.
Somebody put that on Twitter, and I don't know if I put it in the group chat, but they showed the Carson Wentz to Terry McLaurin, Jacksonville Jaguar down the sideline, bomb, touchdown. It was the exact same play that Curtis Samuel ran. And he even had like 10 more steps on his defender than Terry did.
Didn't have a safety coming over either.
At all. And my man had to stop and adjust, make the catch, and go out of bounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of we're there. We're at that point where the leash for Taylor Heinicke is as short as it's ever going to be.
It's not like, I wonder if he's going to do. We shouldn't have to depend on the game to come down to crunch time and we're down by a score for Taylor Heinicke to bring out his magic. That's ridiculous. We shouldn't have to wish that we're trailing so he can come back and do what he does.
Right, bad, bro. To show that urgency or like, just make plays.
No,
because there are times when he just goes out there and he just plays, right? And that is when he's in those pressure situations where he just goes out there and he just slings the ball all over the place. Like there was that one throw to Dotson on that out pattern in that last drive where he did his 3 steps, he turned and he just threw it to where Jahan is supposed to be, and it was a perfect pass right to Jahan. And he goes, I'm talking about in the last drive.
Oh yeah,
it's an out pattern, and he went out of bounds. It was a great throw to Jahan Dotson because he didn't think about it. He didn't worry about if there's a safety or if there's a linebacker underneath. He just said, we've got to make this play. I've just got to go out and make this play, so I'm going to go do it because the time is now. The urgency is right in front of us. So,
Scott Turner, this is your fault a little bit too.
It's huge on Scott.
I mean,
Turner.
like I just don't understand how you've had a quarterback at 3 different teams, Vikings, Panthers, and now Commanders, and you still don't know how to really use him. Like his weakness is his noodle arm. Stop making him do these 7-step drop backs to launch it. Stop making him. I don't know. It's just.
Well, here you missed my theory on Monday about Scott Turner.
What is that?
Okay, so here's my theory. You ready?
Yeah.
Scott Turner is young offensive coordinator. I don't even know how old he is, but in NFL coaching years, he's young.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Somebody let us know here in the chat. Let us know how old Scott Turner is. I'm guessing he's close to 40, maybe even older than that. Okay. His desire, just like any offensive coordinator, his desire is to be a head coach, right? Everybody's desire is to one day be a head coach. You don't get into the coaching profession just to, be an understudy for 40 years. You're trying to get up to the top. Okay. So let's say he goes into this off season and he's got to put his resume against these other young guys, these other coaches or retreads, whoever, and they got to put it in front of who's ever making the decision for the head coaching job of the Houston Texans. I don't know who's looking for a head coach this year, but let's just say Houston. They always seem to be looking for a head coach.
Yeah, I think Levy's gone.
Yeah. All right. So his head coaching resume cannot be, I gave it to Brian Robinson 40 times a game, that I ran the ball 45 to 50 times a game. Now, we won those games. We won them 16-13 because we have a great defense. Okay. He can't do that. He won't get the job. But if his resume is showing innovation, is showing creativity, is showing 3-man backfields with Heineke and Gibson and Samuel and B-Rob and Logan Thomas and Amani Rodgers under center and running wild, you know what I mean? All these things that they've done, a flea flicker on 2nd and 3. Yeah. And then on 3rd and 3, giving it to your wide receiver, your slot guy, your end arounds to De'Ami Brown, things like that. That will get you a head coaching job. But what this team needs to do to win, which is give the ball to B-Rob, I'm being a little bit exaggerating a little bit, but give it to him 25, 30 times and run the ball 40 to 45 times. He won't do that. He can't do that. So that's my theory on Scott Turner is if he just runs it, then he's never going to get a head coaching job because he's just some guy who hands the ball off every down.
I agree with that theory. I do. But also when it comes down to the no-brainers, when we're at the 5-yard line, we're lining up in shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
put. But what gets attention?
Scoring points.
I know, but what gets you more attention is how you score those points.
I watch
some innovative plays to make easy touchdowns.
Where was Nick Sirianni before he became head coach of the Eagles?
He was OC of, I don't know. I can't remember where he was.
All I'm saying is,
I'll look it up real quick.
The Eagles, they really aren't that exotic in their offensive scheme.
Well, yeah, but they run a college offense,
which maybe is what we need to do.
Well, yeah, but their personnel, because of their quarterback,
well, true. But
that's why they run that.
I see them. They lined up in like almost a victory formation at the 1-yard line the last game, and Jalen Hurts just snuck it in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Why don't we? That's what I'm talking about. Like when it's no-brainer situations like that, that's not the time to be innovative. It's time to be smart and basic, and whatever scores you points from the 1-yard line. Who was it? Tay and Todd put on a tweet. We got to the Giants 35, 1, and 5-yard line. No points.
0 points.
So you can throw a flea flicker at midfield, 2nd and 3. You can run a reverse screen. You can do this. But when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, of what it takes to win the game is to score points, and you can't do it, you're not gonna get a head coaching job, bro. So and I like that theory, and if that's the case, he needs to go ahead and get that out of his head. You're not Norv Turner. You're not ever gonna be your dad. No offense. If he was that great.
If he had Troy Aikman as a quarterback, he would
be right. So
like somebody go ahead.
And I know like this is the only benefit of the doubt I give Scott Turner. He's had how many quarterbacks his whole time in Washington? That's the only thing I'll give him. That's the only thing.
That's right.
I don't give a damn who's quarterback. 1-yard line, Stoner, line up under center, run it in. Done.
Yeah.
I don't care who's quarterback. So
you're right. You're right. They overthink it. They get too cute. They want to put stuff out there on their resume to show, other bosses that
I can do this.
Yeah, I've got this great mind and all that other stuff. So that's just kind of my theory about why he gets just too fancy at times. In the middle of the field, get fancy.
Did you hear Ron's presser after the game or his interview with JP Finley?
In regards to what?
Like how the offense went to score points. He kind of was like, well, we need to run the ball more and be more effective in our play action. Like he was very stern and kind of letting Scott Turner know in an interview, like, yo, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
So I think he's finally starting to the frustration is starting to really set in. That look, you need to call a better game. Even B-Rob's making a comment about the game. About
absolutely.
Well,
they asked him about it today too. They asked Scott Turner about it today, and he even admitted we should have run the ball. He didn't say that specifically, but he was just like, we should have given the ball to B-Rob a lot more.
Too late now.
I know, and we've all been screaming that. Not that we're all, as you said in the beginning, that we're all like football savants. No. But we can see it that's what makes this team.
Stats don't lie, bro. 7.5 yards a carry.
Yeah,
stats don't lie.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So Scott Turner, as people pointed out, he was the OC in Indianapolis before he got here. Not Scott Turner. Sirianni. Nick Sirianni was the OC with Indianapolis, and Scott Turner is 40 years old. Exactly 40. And let's not forget how he got this job too, because Ron Rivera did not bring him right away when he got the job. Okay, he interviewed a bunch of offensive coordinators, and the reason Ron Rivera hired Scott Turner is because Scott Turner came in with a detailed plan on how he was going to fix Dwayne Haskins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because we all talk about this whole Chase Young thing, and that they never should have drafted Chase, that they should have drafted Tua or Herbert, who were drafted after him. But they had Dwayne Haskins coming off his rookie year. That they had spent a 17th pick or 15th pick on him. Right?
They weren't going right after that at like 17 or 19.
Yeah, they weren't going to. They weren't going to draft a quarterback.
No,
that year
he was the
guy. And then you bring in Rivera, you bring in Turner, and Turner says, "This is how I'm going to fix Dwayne Haskins." And by the way, I'm not trying to talk ill of the past, but
it didn't work.
It didn't work. Okay, he didn't fix Dwayne Haskins. That lasted like half the year, and then they said, not only did they say he's not good enough to be the quarterback of this team, he's not good enough to be on this team.
Yeah,
and they released him.
Yeah,
right away. So that we tend to forget that about Scott Turner and how he got this job in the first place. He failed at what his whole plan was.
Yeah,
to Ron Rivera said, "I will fix Dwayne Haskins,"
and he didn't. And then he got an extension after that.
Yeah, he did. Now it's a non-guaranteed extension, so
we could let him go.
So you can let him go, and it's nothing. It doesn't hurt the payroll, if you will. Although
I don't want to go too far on this tangent, but let's say new ownership is happening, but doesn't happen until next year. We go a whole season.
Yeah.
But does Ron Rivera stays? Does he keep Scott Turner, you think, or you think he goes a different direction, offensive coordinator?
I think just these next 3 weeks are huge.
Yeah.
On that decision, right? If offensively, if they improve, and it's because Scott Turner is doing some things that helps this offense, and they go 2-1 and they scored 25, 26 points a game, then you can say, okay, look, he figured it out once he got everybody healthy. But we'll see. And the whole ownership situation is going to throw a whole wrinkle into this offseason with free agents, with coaching, with
get the popcorn ready,
draft, all of that stuff.
That's about to be wild.
Because if you don't know who the owner is going to be, how are you going to sign free agents? It's exactly what the Washington Nationals are going through right now. Yep. When they see the New York Mets, the Mets have a almost $500 million payroll this year. Just this year, their payroll is almost $5 when you count the luxury tax that they have to pay.
Yep.
The Nats are just over $100 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they don't know who the owner is, and no one's there to say, yes, you can go out and sign Justin Verlander for $120 million.
Right.
You can go out and sign, so-and-so for $300 million. There's nobody there because you don't know who the owner is.
And now
the Commanders.
The Phoenix Suns just got a new owner they just sold for $4 billion, I think, earlier this week. So
our jaws are gonna hit the floor when we see how much the Commanders are gonna go for. Yeah. I think they're gonna go for over $7 billion.
Especially
that's insane.
$4 billion. The Phoenix Suns went for $4 billion.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
NBA team. They're not as valuable.
Charles Barkley and Dan Marley. That's all they got.
Yeah,
the Commanders, right. Bro.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, Trev.
Yeah.
Have you seen the latest projections for Taylor Heineke's contract? Have you seen these?
He's going to go get the bag somewhere else, bro.
Has anybody in the chat seen how much they're projecting for Taylor Heineke?
Let me see if I can pull that up. I think JP Finley tweeted that.
I got the amount in my head. I know what it is.
It was like $19 million a year.
$19.7 million a year. You're going to pay Taylor. Now, they're not going to, because there's something about like Ryan Tannehill's contract that skews all the numbers.
Yeah.
But
so not even be close.
He's going to get probably in the 6 to 10 range.
And he's going to go somewhere else to get that, because we're not going to give him that.
Correct. Because you're not going to pay him that and pay whomever.
We got to pay Deron Payne. We got to pay some other people first. And we need somebody to come take his spot too. So,
well, you're going to end up paying Lamar Jackson $35 million.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about that with Ethan at the game, the raffle winner who joined us in the suite. I said, I was thinking that, like, Taylor, should we keep him or should he go get that bag somewhere else? I think he should get the bag somewhere else.
Yeah, he's going to go. He's going to get a bag. Okay, you see how valuable backups are.
Oh my God, people love him.
A lot of these guys are doing.
The league loves him.
Yeah, and he's going to get it somewhere else for sure.
See ya, Sam Howell. Welcome to number 2, baby.
Yeah, he'll be the number 2 for sure.
Hey, Great Watubi.
Great Watubi. I think we can actually win at San Fran, but we have to play almost perfectly. That's a great segue, because coming up on the cool down, we're going to give our predictions of this game. So hang there here in just a second, and we'll be right back.
The cool down is brought to you by Manscaped. Ever since my Nathan started using their products, I can't cool down. Fellas, trust me. Go to Manscaped right now and get 20% off and free shipping by using the code REF. Your ladies will appreciate you. Now back to Trev, Stoner, and my Manscaped man, Nathan.
Appreciate everybody sticking with us here into the cool down. Don't forget to head out to Manscaped and get 20% off of your order and free shipping by using the code REF at manscaped.com. You see the banner right below here. It's almost Christmas. You might be able to still get it by Sunday. If you order today, I can't promise you, but go check it out at manscaped.com and see what they can do for you. So let's talk about that, Trev, as we'll bring this back up, because we appreciate the Great Watubi of that $5 donation. He says that he thinks that we can win, but we have to play almost perfect. Trev, let's get right to it.
All right.
What is your prediction for the game and why?
I think we're going to win this game.
Wow.
I know. I have my reasons real quick. I might come back with a score in like 5 minutes, but we are going to win this game. We played really well on the road this year. For some reason during that after 1-4 stretch. And when I say this year, I'm just for the future references, I'm not even counting one when we were 1-4. That just didn't.
That was like last year.
Yeah, it's like a preseason kind of.
Yeah, right.
But since then, we play better. We play really well on the road. I think everybody in the entire world and their mother and everybody's coming home for Christmas is picking San Francisco to win this game, except for the people in Ashburn.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great for us. We're going to shock the world. This is kind of like, if you guys remember 11-0 Pittsburgh Steelers COVID year. Everybody in their world picked Pittsburgh. They're 11-0. They were looking good. And they were beating the crap out of everybody, just looking like the old Steelers. And we were the Washington football team. Didn't have a name.
Didn't even have a name.
Didn't have a shot in the dark or in the light. And we pulled it off. And I just feel like, coming off this loss on Sunday, coming off the tie and the loss to the same team the past 3 weeks, we're going to come out like this is the playoff game for real. If we win, we advance. If we don't, we literally go home and just play Carson Wentz against the Browns and Cowboys. Chase Young come back. Hell, you might even throw Sam Howell in there for like the fourth quarter. I don't know. But
yeah.
I just think we win. I don't know how we do it. Just stay disciplined. If we're not bad, if we stay disciplined to our game plan with running the ball, and we stay disciplined without drawing stupid, dumb penalties and putting ourselves in position to draw those penalties, and then score points in the red zone, we should win. Yeah. Or at least make it interesting. That sounds so dumb and basic, but that's literally all we have to do, because for what it's worth, we do move the ball down the field, whether it's Taylor Heineke's once in the blue moon deep ball, or B-Rob running crazy, or a Gibby breaking out for a run here and there, or Curtis Samuel. We do move the ball pretty well for the most part, but we just can't score.
Yeah.
So if we just got to score. If we can take what the defense gives us and opportunities to score, we win the game.
Okay. Gus wants to know, are we winning with Heineke or Wentz at the helm?
We're going to start with Heineke. We're going to end up winning with Wentz.
Hey, you might be onto something there.
I just don't.
Roger says it's going to be 31-0 Niners.
Oh, man.
You have no shot at all.
Well, I mean, the Seahawks, for what it's worth, only lost 21-13.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a much better coaching staff.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's just how I feel. We're going to shock the world.
There's something to that, Trev. I believe there's something to everybody picking against you. Everybody believing that you're going to lose. That happened against Philadelphia this year. Everybody in the world said Philadelphia was going to win. And rightly so. It's not like everybody was just out of their mind picking some crazy thing. They should have won. Philadelphia is a better team than Washington, but they don't play games on paper. And so Washington will have a chance this week because of this, because they are desperate.
Yes.
Washington is now desperate
and overlooked.
Last week they weren't desperate, Trev.
No.
Okay. They were kind of sitting pretty during the bye week. They moved up a spot in the playoff standings, right? They're just kind of they had everything to lose in this game, and they ended up doing that. Whereas the Giants were coming in, they just got crushed by Philadelphia the week before, just embarrassed, and they had fallen down to the last playoff spot. And had lost, I don't know, something like 6 of their last 8 games. Something.
Yeah, everybody was saying,
they were like 1-5-1 in their last 7, something like that.
The Giants have peaked already, so they're about to hit their downfall.
So they came in desperate. They came in playing like it was a playoff game.
And what did they do, Stoner?
And they won the game.
But how'd they do it?
They ran the damn ball.
And they got the ball out quick. They didn't. There were no highlight plays.
Right.
Their offense was very vanilla, very boring. They converted a 4th and 9, bro, and effective. That's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Stick to the game plan. Don't waver from it because you're down 14-3, Scott Turner. Okay. There's 2 halves. Stick with the game plan.
Now, however, San Francisco is at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a more talented roster. They have better coaching.
Yeah.
We've seen that. I mean, again, they're on their 3rd string quarterback and they're not missing a beat with their 3rd stringer. Okay. No. They're making trades for one of the most dynamic players in the league because even though they were playing well or they had a good record, they still needed more. They wanted more. Okay. They're at home, all of that. Okay. So that leads me to think that San Francisco is going to win. Okay. They're not desperate, Trev.
No. They're overlooking us, bro.
They are sitting pretty. Okay. They just locked up a playoff spot. They won their division.
They're not worried
this game. It means something in the playoff standings.
Right.
Positioning. But it doesn't mean anything to them.
No.
Okay.
They've already overlooking us. They are. You already know that.
That's a mentality that's hard to overcome. Okay. And Washington is the perfect example.
We some dogs now.
Right.
We make it. We ride a roller coaster every Sunday for a reason. Okay.
Trev, Washington's winning this game.
Amen, Stoner.
They're winning this game.
Damn right.
And it's not me just saying that, like a homer sort of pick, or
Right, no.
I'm saying it just to like fire up the fan base. I believe that they're going to win this game.
I do too.
San Francisco's more talented,
Yeah.
but they're not more talented. Believe it or not, they're not more talented than Washington is at quarterback. I hate to say it. Taylor Heineke greater than signed Brock Purdy. Carson Wentz greater than signed times 2 Brock Purdy. Okay. Great one, Tubi, $2 donation every time we play McCaffrey. That is true. If you go back and look at the stats, Washington, when McCaffrey was in Carolina, they've been able to shut him down.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean they're going to do it this time, but they have in the past. So keep that in mind for sure. So I think Washington's going to win. Scott Turner is going to stop goofing around.
Yeah, bro.
And he's gonna do what, Trev?
He's gonna run the beeping ball.
I believe he is. I believe he got smacked in the face with all those stats about B-Rob only carrying it so many times.
Ron Rivera probably lighting the fire up his butt.
That's right. And I think they're gonna run it, and they're gonna run. Now they're not gonna be very successful at it. Okay. But they are going to put together drives. Okay. They're not going to have these big plays and all this other stuff, but they're going to put together enough drives to keep San Francisco's offense on the sidelines. And the defense is going to bring Brock Purdy back down to earth.
Yeah.
And he's going to look like the last player taken in the draft. And Washington wins 17-13.
I was going to say 19-13. Washington.
You want to put it?
Yep, 19-13.
19-13 Washington. I got 17-13 Washington.
Wear that defense out. That's how you beat them. Wear the defense out. Because their offense does not scare me.
It shouldn't.
George Kittle scares me.
Right.
Because we don't do a good job covering tight ends. But Cam Curl, you got a huge assignment this week.
Or Derek Forrest. Right. Now we've got different guys there now. We've got a different mindset. We've got a different plan than we've had in past years. We haven't had tight ends killing Washington this year. Okay. We've got real safeties now who can cover tight ends. They'll get theirs. Look, George Kittle's going to get his.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But he's not going to have one of those 9 catches for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns games. I don't believe it. I don't believe Brock Purdy is capable of doing that with this defense.
Are they the 3 seed right now?
They are the 3 seed, yes. But Dallas is right there with them.
Oh yeah, so
Dallas is the 4 seed, and they got the same record.
We're winning this game.
I think Washington is winning. Nathan, he doesn't think so. He thinks San Francisco is going to win 20-6.
At his house after the game, he said 20-3. So at least he got us.
He gave us 3 more points.
Yo, Joey Sly, for real, dog. Don't think you don't get any of this blame either, bro.
You know, he only missed an extra point.
How many times he's missed for like every game?
He's missed, I believe, 3 this year.
It's just, I don't know.
And we haven't seen the Pro Bowl list because I think it came out just as we went live.
4 players made it from us.
So Jeremy Reeves made it as special teams.
Wow.
Montez and Payne made it as alternates.
The Tressway made it.
McLaurin is an alternate, and McLaurin and B-Rob maybe. Oh wait, here you go. Nope, I thought that was the list. But Tommy T says that Payne and Montez Sweat have been named alternates. If anybody has any of the other list, let us know. Great what Tubi said, the Vikings tight end Hawkinson had a big day against us. He definitely did. But great what Tubi also says Washington wins 16-13. And Yam wants to know who my dealer is.
So John Allen, Tressway, Jeremy Reeves are all starters to the Pro Bowl, and Tim Floyd as a reserve.
Yep.
That's cool. I made the Pro Bowl and it doesn't mean anything, but that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great that McLaurin finally made a Pro Bowl. And
Stoner, how do we lose Saturday?
How do you lose Saturday? Oh, how do you lose Saturday? TH4 just goes out there and does what he's been doing the last couple weeks and turns the ball over and gives that great defense, some turnovers, and then gives their offense short fields. Basically the exact opposite of what Washington wants to do. So that's how it's going to happen. All right, Trev, you got any dollars you want to get to?
Yeah, I got a couple of dollars.
All right, let's do a couple of dollars. Oh, just as a reminder, the game's on Christmas Eve, right? On Saturday. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do a live stream of the game. It's Christmas Eve. We're going to be spending time with our families and enjoying the game like everybody else. I'm sure we'll be live tweeting the game because we're going to be watching it, and we'll be right there with all of you. Mm-hmm. And so we're not going to be doing that. And of course, the day after Reckoning will not be on Sunday, which is of course Christmas Day, but we will have Day After Reckoning on Monday. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. And then by then, everything kind of goes back to normal. We'll have episode number 101 next Wednesday, and we'll live stream the Cleveland game, and we'll live stream the Cowboys game at the end of the year.
Oh, I'll be there for Dar on Monday. Let's go.
Oh, you will be there for Dar? Yeah. Because I was just thinking maybe I have to get us a guest because Nathan's not going to be there.
I make my Dar return on Monday.
Wait, Nathan will be there. Oh, cool. I think Nathan will be there Monday.
Okay.
All right. So that's just a reminder to everybody. All right, Trev, dollar.
Taylor Heineke throws 2 interceptions on Sunday.
Who does?
Taylor Heineke.
Heineke throws 2 interceptions.
And I know I said we win. Somehow the defense pulls one out of their butts again, but we win.
Yeah, I'm taking that. I don't think he's throwing 2 interceptions.
He did have a sack fumble, but he did not throw a pick. He almost threw a pick in the end zone. But all right, go ahead.
And if you guys want to put your dollar predictions in the chat, please do so. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you are not a subscriber. All right. Yeah, I'm taking that, Trev. He's not going to throw 2 interceptions. He'll throw 1. I will say Brock Purdy will have 2 turnovers.
Ooh.
I don't know exactly what they're going to be, but I think they're going to make Brock Purdy look like the last pick of the draft. I think this defense is going to do that to him.
2 turnovers?
This is a game where Kyle Shanahan's going to outthink.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Where he's going to be like, all right, let's go out. Let's throw the ball all over the place. And Washington's not going to have any of that. It's not going to happen.
All right. I'm 2. I'm with you. I'm with you. Cause
all right. So no,
I'll take it. To make it fun, I'll take it. To make it
right. Stoner. So Purdy, 2 turnovers.
Ready? B-Rob has 20 carries at least Sunday.
I think B-Rob has, I'll say he has over 25 carries.
Ooh. Gibby gonna have how many carries?
Gibby will have less than 10. I think you're going to see a lot of B-Rob. A lot. I don't know how many yards, like Great Ratubi's saying, over 75. I think he's going to have I think he'll get over 75 yards. I think he'll have, how about this? I'll give you a parlay. 25, at least 25 carries and over 80 yards. Even though no running back in the NFL has come anywhere close to that this entire season against San Francisco.
Oh, no. B-Rob did have 80 yards on 12 carries last game.
Yeah, but that wasn't San Francisco's defense.
No, it wasn't. But still.
Caleb Huntley for Atlanta.
Who?
Had 16 carries. That's the most carries that anybody's had this year. And he had 59 yards. That's the most yards anybody's had.
I'll take that.
All right, so I'm going to do the double dip here. Stoner says B-Rob, 25 carries and 80 yards. All right, you got one, Trev?
I'm just sitting here thinking who they played to find out running backs. I say.
What the heck happened to your mic? Just all of a sudden it exploded loud.
How is it now?
Yeah, it's good. No, something weird.
Chase Young plays on Saturday.
Ooh, man.
Pitch count too.
All right, let's just say he does score. I mean, he does score. He does play. I will put his number over 12 plays.
Over 12?
Yeah. If he plays.
I'm saying under 12.
All right. So Stoner. Now he has to play. If he doesn't play, this bet's void.
Right.
Over 12 plays. All right. Washington will be held to 13 points. Yam says, $, we score under 20 points. Probably. Sly with 2 50-yard field goals, including the game winner. All right, I've got I got one for you, Trev.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, all right, this is a good one. I need odds, but that's not how dollar works. Carson Wentz plays.
Amen. I'm with you. You know that.
You're with me on that.
I don't know if Stoner told y'all on Monday, but I was in shock and awe, like heart eyes, watching Carson Wentz throw balls on the sideline.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm telling y'all right now.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, Trev. I mean, Trev was just obsessed with
I'm
watching Carson Wentz throw BBs all over the field.
Darts, BBs, little blow darts, like, and he was throwing on the run.
Mm-hmm. He was throwing them sidearm,
difficult throws, bombs, like 50-yard, 40-yard bombs, spiral. Yeah. My man is ready to play. I'm telling y'all,
he's ready.
Carson is ready to play. He
didn't
look like this when we got him. He looked like he was still kind of unsure about the offense. Like, I mean, it's expected, but now, bro, I'm telling y'all, Carson is ready to play.
He definitely is physically ready. Absolutely. Yeah, we watched him like every timeout when Taylor is warming up.
Every chance.
Taylor and Carson were throwing it, but now they weren't throwing it to each other because they had the guy next to him who would make the catch, but they were basically playing catch. And Taylor's standing there, and he'll throw it, right? Carson will go and he'll move and he'll go over this way and he'll throw sidearm and he was, you know what I mean? And Taylor would just stand there and throw it. But I mean, you get it because like Taylor's got to save his energy for the game. But it doesn't look like he was ready to get in that game.
I'm telling y'all, my man is ready to go.
Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, so
he plays.
What's that?
He plays on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Allison put in for $. Turner calls 4+ jet sweeps.
Oh,
I think he will.
4+?
At least 4 jet sweeps. Because you got to get around that tough D line somehow, man.
That's true.
Right?
All right. So, this might be a lot of.
Are you taking it?
So you're not going. It won't be 4. It'll be less than 4.
All right. So I'll say 4. Stoner, Washington 4+ jet sweeps. All right, Trev, give me one more before we sign off here.
Somebody we haven't mentioned in a long time.
Wait. Who haven't we mentioned in a long time? For Washington?
Yeah.
All right. We have not mentioned Kendall Fuller.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I can read you like a book, Trev.
I know, bro. That's what I'm going to say. Kendall Fuller is going to have an interception on Saturday.
Fuller, INT. I don't think he will.
Probably not, but I just wanted to put him out there.
Right. I like it, though. All right. So
what time is the game Saturday?
4:05 Eastern, I believe. Or it's in the 4:00 range. I can't remember which.
Is it only on NFL Network or is it on Fox?
I don't know the answer to that.
All right, we'll find
out. I don't know which channel it's on. and I know it's the 4:00 game. Like I think there's 3 games on Saturday, like they did this past Saturday, and it's the middle game, so it might be 4:30ish, 4:25 type game. So it's going to be a big game for Washington this Saturday against San Francisco, and we'll bring you our day after reckoning on Monday, not Sunday, of course, which is Christmas Day. Trev will be there for that, which is pretty exciting, so we can talk all about it. Appreciate everybody who has joined us today. Again, make sure you hit that like button. All of you all with your funny lines and your goofiness in the chat. We appreciate all of that. We appreciate you guys all the time for checking out our content. Of course, you can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, audio-wise, you can hear us on all the different audio channels. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Trev, you got any last-minute thoughts before we head out?
Run the damn ball.
I totally agree. So, wait, okay. Wait, I'm not ready. I got to get to it. What's the last one? What's the last video that we'll be a fan?
Yeah, until next time or whatever.
All right, so until next time, everyone.
Be a fan.
That's right, be a fan.